4W. Agree or disagree? Genetic engineering will have a positive influence on society in the future. Although still in its infancy, genetic engineering will be a tremendous boon to future societies. Specifically, the technology will eliminate genetic diseases, help protect wildlife, and stabilize the global food supply. Genetic engineering has potentially life-changing health applications. For example, the technology has opened the door to the possibility of identifying fatal diseases early or neutralizing genetic defects before birth. In addition to the improvement in individual quality of life, the long-term significance of healthier populations only reinforces the importance of this technology. The environmental implications of genetic engineering are also pertinent. Accelerated by unprecedented industrialization, global warming has become one of many factors behind the dwindling number of wildlife species. Genetic engineering, however, could help bring back extinct species and strengthen the genes of endangered ones, which would benefit society greatly as healthy ecosystems are a key source of many resources indispensable for modern needs. Finally, genetic engineering offers modern-day solutions that promise lasting impacts on future generations. Growing populations are putting greater strain on the global food supply, which is already at the mercy of worsening climate change. Genetic modification, however, could boost yields and create more resilient crops, both of which would prove vital in famine-stricken areas and regions with poor climates. Therefore, tackling human health issues, the issue of endangered species, and the escalating food crisis via genetic engineering underscores just how invaluable a tool such technology will be for effecting positive societal change in the future. I agree that genetic engineering will have a positive influence on society in the future. First, it can improve human health. Scientists are already using genetic engineering to cure diseases and prevent genetic disorders. For example, in the future, diseases like cancer or diabetes might become easier to treat or even disappear completely. This can help people live longer, healthier lives. Second, genetic engineering will help produce more food. By changing the genes of crops, we can make them stronger against diseases and pests. Farmers can grow more food with fewer resources. This is especially important as the world's population grows. Genetic engineering can help us feed everyone more easily. Third, genetic engineering can also help the environment. Scientists can develop plants that use less water or grow in difficult conditions. This means farmers won't need as much land or water. It can also reduce the need for chemicals that damage the environment. Using genetic engineering, we can protect nature while still providing enough food and medicine. Of course, we must be careful and make sure it is done safely. But overall, genetic engineering has the potential to help us solve many important problems. For these reasons, I strongly believe genetic engineering will have many positive effects on our society in the future. I strongly agree that genetic engineering will positively influence society. First of all, it can make human lives healthier. In the future, genetic engineering could remove harmful genes that cause serious health issues. People could be born without genetic problems like heart disease or certain cancers. Families would not have to worry about passing diseases to their children. Second, genetic engineering could greatly improve food production. Today, many people still go hungry around the world. Genetic engineering can help create crops that grow faster, resist insects, and survive in bad weather. With these stronger crops, farmers can produce more food at lower costs. This could significantly reduce world hunger. Third, genetic engineering can protect the environment. We could create plants that absorb more carbon dioxide or produce oxygen more effectively. This could help reduce global warming. Scientists can also engineer plants that don't need harmful pesticides or fertilizers. These new plants could keep our water and soil clean. Of course, we must be careful when using genetic engineering, because it is very powerful technology. But if we use it wisely, we can improve health, reduce hunger, and protect nature. These benefits clearly show that genetic engineering will positively affect our society in the future. I believe genetic engineering will positively influence society. First, it has huge potential to improve healthcare. In the future, genetic engineering can help doctors understand diseases better. By changing genes, doctors might even cure serious illnesses such as cancer or Alzheimer's disease. This would save many lives and improve the quality of life for millions of people. Second, genetic engineering will help solve food shortages. Scientists can create stronger crops that produce more food and use fewer resources. These plants will be able to grow even in places where food normally can't be grown easily. As a result, more people will have access to nutritious food, and hunger can decrease around the world. Third, genetic engineering will benefit the environment by creating plants and animals that cause less harm to nature. For example, we can engineer plants to use less water or require fewer chemicals. Animals can also be engineered to be healthier and produce less waste. These improvements can help protect ecosystems and keep the planet healthy. Of course, we must handle genetic engineering responsibly to avoid problems. But overall, the benefits of improved health, increased food production, and a cleaner environment show that genetic engineering will positively affect society. I strongly support the use of this technology for a better future. I disagree that genetic engineering will have a positive influence on society in the future. First, genetic engineering can be dangerous for human health. Changing genes may cause unexpected side effects, like new diseases or health problems. Scientists do not fully understand how genes work yet, so trying to modify them could lead to serious mistakes and risks. Second, genetic engineering could cause ethical problems. For example, if we change genes to create perfect babies, society could become unfair. Rich people might use genetic engineering to have smarter or stronger children, giving them advantages over poorer people who cannot afford it. This would make inequality worse and divide society even more. Third, genetic engineering can harm the environment. When we genetically modify plants or animals, we do not always know how they will affect nature. New species could disrupt ecosystems, harming other plants and animals. They might also spread uncontrollably, causing permanent environmental damage. Once a mistake is made, it could be difficult or impossible to reverse. Genetic engineering might seem like a helpful solution at first, but the potential problems outweigh the benefits. I think we should be very careful about using it because of these health risks, ethical concerns, and environmental dangers. Instead, we should look for safer ways to solve problems that don't involve changing genes. Therefore, I believe genetic engineering will not be positive for society in the future. I disagree that genetic engineering will positively affect society. First, it raises many serious ethical issues. Genetic engineering might allow people to choose specific traits for their children, like height or intelligence. This could lead to discrimination because people without engineered genes might be seen as inferior. It could cause divisions in society between those who are genetically modified and those who are not. Second, genetic engineering has unknown health risks. We do not completely understand how changing genes might affect human health in the long run. People who have their genes modified could suffer unexpected health problems later in life. Mistakes in genetic engineering might even be passed down to future generations, creating new health problems. Third, genetic engineering could harm the environment. Plants or animals changed through genetic engineering could damage ecosystems. For instance, genetically modified plants might accidentally harm beneficial insects or animals. Once released into the environment, genetically modified organisms could spread uncontrollably, and we might be unable to stop or reverse the damage. For these reasons, I think genetic engineering is too risky. While the technology sounds promising, ethical problems, health dangers, and environmental risks show it could negatively impact our society. We should focus on safer and more natural ways to solve our problems instead of depending on genetic engineering. Therefore, I do not think genetic engineering will have a positive influence on society. I disagree that genetic engineering will positively influence society in the future. First, genetic engineering could lead to new types of discrimination. People with genetically modified traits might gain unfair advantages in life, such as better health or higher intelligence. Those who cannot afford genetic engineering could face prejudice and fewer opportunities. Society would become even more unequal than it is now. Second, genetic engineering poses serious health risks. Scientists do not fully know the long-term effects of modifying genes. Mistakes could lead to new health problems, such as unexpected illnesses or genetic defects. Once genes are changed, it could be impossible to fix the problems they cause. We might create issues that affect not just one generation but future generations as well. Third, genetic engineering can negatively affect nature. When scientists change plants and animals, there is no guarantee they will not cause environmental harm. Genetically engineered species could spread quickly, disrupting ecosystems by replacing natural species. This damage could be permanent and impossible to correct. For these reasons, genetic engineering carries too many risks and uncertainties. While it might seem helpful at first, the possibility of discrimination, unknown health risks, and environmental damage show that the dangers outweigh the benefits. Instead of relying on genetic engineering, we should carefully find safer ways to improve society without causing these serious problems. Therefore, I strongly disagree that genetic engineering will have a positive impact in the future.